isn't it true that you were called the idol buster?
Yes
I don't know. I'm
and
just
no.
saying.
Yes and no. By
Okay.
a very few people.
Okay.
The idea was I was the Jewish iconoclast. An iconoclast means one who breaks idols. And
Okay.
I'm a Levite. And truthfully, all Levites are idol busters.
Or what?
Are idol busters. We break idols.
Okay. So with that definition intact, as is this right here? This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite pieces. I got that back so long ago. I was barely religious at all, and I seen this in a furniture store, and for some reason, I absolutely had to have this Moses holding this tablet. And I was wondering if this bust of Moses in my library here would be considered an idol.
No.
Thank you. Okay.
Absolutely ridiculously wrong. The only thing that this from the Ten Commandments is only that which would be an idol to be worshipped. This couldn't be further from the truth.
Further from the truth.
Not only is it kosher and not an idol, it's beautiful, and it
is beautiful. It's it makes it different. So
well, I got to ask the question of Chaim, where did the name come from, Idol Buster? How did you get that name? Why did a few people call you that? Is there a story behind that?
It's not much of a story. I was writing a what do you call it? Not a podcast, a blog. I wrote a blog post for about 6 months, and a lot of what I wrote was critical of things far and close, including Orthodox Judaism. And so there were a few guys who called me idol busting. They wanted me to get more involved with this and to call the blog post the Jewish iconoclast. And I said, it's not where I'm at. It's all about love, not breaking idols.
Okay. But was there something, a story about some maybe artifacts underneath a stairway, or something that you went and looked at one time? Do you remember any story like that? Maybe it was at somebody's house and they come and asked you to look and see if any of these artifacts or little statuettes or something was an idol.
Well, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what did happen that was outrageous. In my early years, kind of in searching around, I found myself living in the house of a close friend in Los Angeles, in the San Fernando Valley. And this friend's, we were, both he and I were in a phase of really searching for the truth. And his mother called herself the Happy Heathen. And one of the things she had about that, she had the thigh bone of a Buddhist monk with letters engraved in the bone. So it's a bone from a corpse. And it was hanging on her door on her doorway as she came in and out of the house with a big purple ribbon on it. And she would come to me. I was in those days just searching. I had not really found my path yet. And she would come up to me almost every day. She says, Chaim, don't you ever take this. Don't you? I know what you want to do. You want to take this and grind it up and kill us. But don't you ever do that. You're living in my house. And guess what? I did it. I said, I don't care. So I took it, and I went with a friend of mine, and we took it out somewhere, about a half a mile away, and buried it in the ground.
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute.
The
story only begins here. So the next day, I went to shul in L.A. with a big dayan, a big rav, and I asked him, "Was it what I did? Was that permissible?" I took it was an idol, but it was her possession. Was it really permissible for me to steal it and bury it? He says, "You got to return it." I said, "Oh my God!"
You got to what?
He says, "You got to return it to her."
Oh, yeah.
After you done buried it.
After I done buried. So you have no idea what I went through to go find it again. I don't know exactly where I buried it. Should have made a marker of it. Anyhow, I did find it.
Well, that would have been a little weird too.
Well, what are you doing out there? Huh? Well, I'm digging up an idol.
Right. Well, wait a minute. So
it'd been even stranger.
I returned it to her, and that was it, sort of. And then later, I learned into the law, and he was wrong, that rabbi. I should not have returned it to her. And where do we learn it from? Is from Rachel, with the terebinths when they're leaving.
Oh, with Laban's terebinths, yeah.
Coming to the land, she hid her father's idol.